Yo, what's going on, you gas guzzling go goat? Today, playing some games with, I call it Flaffy Box, but it really isn't. It's a Flaffy deck. Flaffy is the main engine in the deck to accelerate lightning energy into play. But our main and only real attacker is the Zapdos with the Thunder Snipe that does 160 damage to a V or GX. GXs are in the format, so we do 160 damage to a V Pokemon, and then we discard all the energy as well. So 160 means we're basically 2-hit KOing all of the relevant Vs and VMAXs in the format. So we can just Thunder Snipe and yeah, knock out all of the relevant Vs and VMAXs in the format, or 2-hit KO them. We're not 1-hit KOing them, 2-hit KO them. But the price rate is favorable. If we're worth 1 prize card and they're worth 3. So that's the idea behind the deck, is we just use Zapdos over and over and over again. And we do have a Cramorant in here, which we sometimes use to close out the game. But the reason the Cramorant's in here is because we need an attacker that can actually KO stuff that is not a V or a VMAX, or hit stuff that's not a V or a VMAX, like Inteleons and stuff. So we have one Cramorant in here, so we can make sure we can KO stuff like Inteleons. So our opponent doesn't just win the game by being like, oh, and I'm attacking with Inteleon now, and you can't attack it. Unless you want to use Flaffy, but Flaffy isn't such a great attacker because we need it to like power up our other attackers. So got the Cramorant in here for that. Do have a couple Jirachis. We are mostly a single prize deck besides the Cramorant, so our opponent's gonna be taking 1 prize each turn. So if we can send this up, 5-6 times throughout a game, that's gonna be a lot of value off of the Dreamy Revelation. So we got a couple Jirachis in here for some added draw support. And then in the supporter line, we got Marnie and Research. No boss in here because we are a constant snipe deck, so we don't really need boss because we can always just snipe it wherever it is. So don't need boss in here. Got some Zinnia's Resolves and some Pokegears. A little bit heavier on the draw support account. We're not playing like an Inteleon engine or Crobat or anything like that. So we do need to be making sure we're playing our draw supporters every single turn. So a little bit heavier on the draw supporter outs through some Pokegears and a couple Zinnia's Resolve. Quick Ball and Level Ball are our Pokemon search cards. We also do play 4 Stormy Mountains, which have been great so far. The stadium is pretty insanely good. In Rayquaza, it doesn't feel as good because you're setting up a VMAX, and then that kind of sticks around for many turns. But in a deck like this, Stormy Mountains has felt insanely powerful because like every single turn we're trying to look for 1 or 2 new Pokemon. Whereas something like, I played this in the Rayquaza VMAX decks, it doesn't feel as good as it does in a deck like this. But yeah, Stormy Mountains has been pretty insane. A couple Ordinary Rods to help us recover our Zapdos, or even some Mareep or Flaffy, depending on if our opponent goes after those as well. Some Air Balloons to make our Jirachi be able to retreat. And then we got a couple Telescopic Sight in here as well, so we can actually one-hit KO stuff like Crobat or Eldegoss off our opponent's bench and get a little bit further ahead in the prize trade a little bit more aggressively. So Telescopic Sights in there are pretty dope. And then we do play 12 Lightning Energy. I felt like this a little bit, like I would like to play less, but I feel like I just can't because we just need to find ways to get them. We need to find the energy so we can get it into the discard pile, because we only play 4 Quick Ball and 4 Research that can actually get energy into the discard pile until we kind of use our first attack. So up to that point, we're looking for energy, and we're looking for one of these 4 cards to then discard the energy so we can actually get the energy in play with the Dynamotor ability on the Flaffy. So it's very important that we find energy. And I've actually even considered trying to add maybe a Galarian Meowth into the deck so that we have a searchable way to discard energy. I haven't added it quite yet because I haven't felt like I definitely need it, but I might give that a try as well, because yeah, getting the energy in the discard pile is just kind of a task sometimes. It feels kind of difficult to pull off. So pretty heavy on the Lightning Energy in 12. And yeah, that's the list. Before we get into the game, just want to give a big shout out to Channel Fireball. If you guys didn't know, I do create video content for them over there on Channel Fireball, so go check that out. There will be a link in the description, of course. And yeah, let's get it. Let's go ahead, play some Zapdos, and get into some games. All right, here we go, getting into our first one. Gonna go ahead and open up the Zapdos, I think. Yeah, why not open up the Zapdos? Don't need to put on the Mareep yet. I actually do play the 60 HP Mareeps because in the the matchups we go up against, it doesn't really matter which Mareep we play, because we kind of lose. Like I said, we kind of lose to snipe decks anyways, so there's no reason to really play the 70 HP Mareep if we're going to be losing to I'm just going to play on my turn here. If we're going to be losing to and then Marnie. Yeah, if we're gonna be losing to it's like escaping my mind right now. If we're gonna be losing to snipe decks anyways, but specifically Dragapult, that's the one. We're gonna be losing to probably Dragapult anyways. I'd rather play the 1 retreat Mareep so I can get Jirachi on turn 1 a little bit more aggressively. I'm going to go ahead and discard the Tool Scrapper here because I don't think we need it up against the Urshifu. And the Urshifu is also, it is a snipe deck. It's a little bit tough, but we're going to see what we can do. Throw this down, attach, and then I'm going to retreat, and we're going to use Jirachi here and hopefully find, well, more Lightning Energy, I guess. I was going to say hopefully find some outs to Flaffy, but did not happen. but it's not the end of the world. We will survive. But yeah, Urshifu can definitely be a little bit tough. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely can be a little bit difficult. But if they're going with a fling, I'm not opposed to that. Maybe we got them with the Marnie here. The thing is, we can't attack the Passimian this turn with Zapdos. So this is where we need the Cramorant. If our opponent like has no what's it called in play, no V's, we have to use Cramorant. So we're gonna play the research first. Try and find the Cram play here. We do need to find a Quick Ball. Got the Quick Ball. Only got one Mareep. Got actually a ton of Mareep, actually. Ton of Sheep. Let's go ahead and make sure Cram is there. Cram is there. So we can go ahead and use Cram turn 1 here, or turn 2. And that's why we play the Cramorant, is because like sometimes there's like, well, I guess in this situation, they just don't have anything. Usually they have stuff, but they can like choose to attack with something like an Inteleon or something and not bench their V's or VMAXs. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and snipe the Sobble here because we want to remove that from play and not have that be an out for my opponent to top deck. So this is like an important thing for us to choose which thing to. One of them's attacking us is the Passimian, but one of them is a much bigger threat and actually out to my opponent being able to threaten out to my opponent actually being able to, you know, continue to play the game, which we don't want my opponent to be playing the game if we can stop them from playing the game. So, you know, if they top deck Level Ball or Drizzile or Evolution Incense, if we KO this Sobble, doesn't matter that they top deck that, right? Because we KO the Sobble, so they can't even use it anyways. This does put us in a little bit of an awkward spot because it's going to be hard for us to attack next turn. And I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to, you know, what are we not going to do? And there's the conceit. There's the conceit. So we knock out the Sobble. We got him with the Marnie, knock out the Sobble, got the Cramorant to actually attack this turn, and yeah, get a dub over the Urshifu. Usually a pretty tough matchup. So those are the kind of dubs we want to get in those kind of matchups. When it's a tough matchup, got to get the cheesy wins. Got to get the cheesy wins sometimes. All right, here we go again. Gonna be going first. And are you looking for that turn 2 Zapdos attack, ideally? Or maybe a turn 2 Cramorant attack? I guess it depends on what they have set up and what we can actually hit. So maybe we will go with the turn 2 Cramorant attack, but probably going to be going with Zapdos. Zapdos start. Not much else to work with in the hand. We're probably whiffing the turn 2, to be honest. With this kind of hand, this is not a hand where we're hitting a turn 2 Zapdos attack, to be honest. So we're probably not attacking turn 2 with Zapdos. Maybe turn 3, but our opponent probably won't be doing too much on their first turn, so it's like not that big of a deal that we whiff our first turn. And it looks like we are up against, now we have a little bit better of a chance to actually go. It looks like we're up against a Zacian deck, which we'll see how it goes. Actually, to be honest, I don't know how this is going to go at all. I'm hoping I top deck an energy next turn so I can discard that with the research, so I know that much. We're actually, yeah, now that we got this top deck actually of the what do we top deck? The Mareep or the Zapdos? I forget which one we already top decked. We got one of each in play on the bench. That's the important part. Is we got one of each in play. Here comes an Intrepid Sword from my opponent. They did get a hit. Let's go find ourselves. There's that energy top deck that I was talking about. I kind of want to put the sight on something, but also don't want to put the sight anywhere. I guess I could put it here, but putting it there doesn't really do a whole ton. I almost want to be able to air balloon this potentially. So let's just go with the research. Let's try and get off an attack this turn. That's the important part. Got the air balloon, got the sheep. Did not get an energy for turn though. So no attack turn 1 or turn 2 from me. Let's go ahead and let's get another sheep. Get ourselves a sheep. And let's put the sheep down. We have all of our air balloons in our hand, which is like really weird. Yeah, I don't even know what we're gonna do with all these things. All right, and I mean pass over to my opponent. So we whiffed the turn 2 attack, which stinks. So that puts us like a little bit behind in the prize trade here. So basically we can 2-hit KO each other, or they 1-hit KO us, we 2-hit KO them. But once we fall behind in this like KO back and forth, they get ahead, and it's hard for us to get, like we can't, it's hard for us to catch back up to them. We need them to like whiff metal saucers basically, and whiff attacks. And they're already hitting metal saucers, so who knows if that's actually going to happen. And there's their Crystal Cave. They could whiff the attack this turn though. It is still possible, and if they do, that'll put us in a great spot. I don't want to lose all my air balloons though. Looks like they did hit the switch though, and they hit a boss on my Zapdos, which is really rude. It's not that big of a deal though, because we should definitely be able to set up 2 Flaffy next turn and hopefully get the attachment, and then we should be good to go. I guess they could whiff a turn of like switching back and forth as well. They do have quite a lot to do turn to turn, so they could whiff as well. We really hope when we top deck a Jirachi here at this point, to be honest, because I want to get a Jirachi set up with an air balloon. It would kind of stink to not be able to do that. So we definitely want to get a Jirachi here. That's not a Jirachi. Recovering a Zapdos is definitely not bad though. We'll go to Zap. I am going to use this before And I'm going to go ahead and grab myself another Mareep, because that's important to have in play. And then we're going to go Air Balloon, Air Balloon, Air Balloon. All the sheep are looned up, and let's get ourselves, there we go, another Flaffy. There we go. We got our energy for turn, so we're attacking this turn. That is the important thing. Get off the attack every single turn and just keep going from there. And then it's just going to come down to, actually at this point, does our opponent whiff? And to be honest, they might. They do need a decent amount each turn. I maybe want to set up that fourth Flaffy at this point to accelerate that extra energy into play. I don't hate the idea of that. So let's get that fourth Mareep. Or should I actually grab a Zapdos? Can't set up a fourth sheep anyways because we prized it. Let's go get a Zapdos here, actually. Just guarantee that. We can get the Mareep next turn with the Stadium if it sticks. All right, hit. Yeah, so this is like, they got the first prize card. We wanted to get the first hit. We didn't get the first hit. They got the first prize card. So now it comes down to, does my opponent whiff? And can we keep up every single turn with pulling off attacks? It's also going to be something we have to do every single turn, is attack every single turn as well. And that's what they're going to try and do as well. They need to set up, like, you know, switch Air Balloon, switch switches, switch to a new Zacian. And we're going to start KOing Zacians, and that'll take energy out of play. Then they're going to have to set up another Zacian with more Metal Saucers and so on. So, and this is actually like a type of matchup where having something like the Double would be really nice to help kind of close out games here. So this would be a really good matchup to consider including the Double for. I think there's other situations where Double would definitely be useful as well. So this makes me want to include the Double after just this. I've yet to play this matchup, but now that I'm kind of playing it right here, it makes me be like, okay, yeah, Double would be pretty good. Yeah, Double would be pretty good. And there's the whiff for a turn. Okay, this is exactly what we needed. They whiff for just one turn. Just one turn they whiffed, and we're going to be able to take advantage of that. And hopefully get us ahead here in the prize exchange. The point where it's maybe just enough that we win the game, to be honest. It might just be enough. This might just be enough for us to like basically win the game, or could get pretty close. Doesn't matter what they send up here. We can always just snipe this Zacian. That's the important part. So yeah, completely irrelevant as to what they send up here. They just need to, you know, pick something. Nothing. Have we gotten the bug here? No, maybe. I think we maybe got the end turn PTCGO bug where it just like has this ending turn over and over and over again. Or they just don't know what they want to send up here, I guess. That could also be what's going on. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter what they send up here. Gonna be able to snipe the other thing. So they should always send up this station, I guess. I guess it doesn't matter. If they send up this one, I knock it out. But yeah, my opponent taking their time on deciding what to promote. Okay, they go with this damagation. I was like, is it bugs? What's going on? Let's go ahead and get ourselves another Mareep to the bench, because if we do draw a sheep out of the prize cards, we will want to be able to evolve that. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and play research. Don't really want to Marnie them. I could have like dug for a Marnie there. Zinnia I couldn't use, obviously. And let's get some energy in play with the Flaffies. Dynamotors for days. We have a Tool Scrapper in our hand as well, which we're going to save to get rid of Air Balloon on my opponent's side. When they put down the Air Balloon to try and create it, to try and make it easier to make pivots and stuff, we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. So Thunder, Snipe, KO this Zacian, and now we're ahead. This is where we want to be, one attack ahead of my opponent. And they only have Zacians and Zamazentas to attack with, which we 2-hit KO every single time. So this is exactly, like I said, this is exactly where we want to be. We're ahead on the prize exchange, and we're hoping he's just going to keep that up from here on out. And then if we just don't ever whiff an attack, we will win the game. There is a couple ways that my opponent can get back into this. Chasing my Flaffy is one of them. We do have this Ordinary Rod in hand, though, so we're going to be able to recover the Flaffy and the Mareep and put those back into the deck, and then be able to get the Mareep back out and kind of go from there. That's pretty important to make sure we have enough energy acceleration. So if they can KO Flaffies back to back to back here or something like that, that could be a little bit scary. But they have this Brave Blade, and then for them to have like switch boss in their next hand is almost impossible unless they want to put Crobat down. If they put Crobat down, we can all of a sudden use our second telescopic sight to get a way easier knockout on that. So I wouldn't mind if they did that, to be honest. I'm gonna go ahead and thin out Jirachi here, grab another Zapdos. Want to increase our chances of drawing into a draw supporter. Going to use this just to recover 2 Pokemon. We're going to get back these 2, and then I'm going to put down the Stormy Mountains, and we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves that Mareep back into play. And then Dynamotors. Dynamotors for days here onto our Zapdos. Attach to this Zapdos. Retreat and then attack once again. Thunder snipe their activation. And then we're going to do it again next turn. And we're going to knock out this Zacian. Once again, leave them in play with that much less to work with. And then we just have to get through this last Zacian. And that will be game. And like I said, if we did play something like the Dubwool, it would make these kind of situations a little bit easier. So against the Zacian deck specifically, it'd be way easier. And then against other decks where you just need to do more than 160 damage on the turn, it would also be pretty good. They're going with a boss stall play here on the Mareep because they don't actually have... They had the boss, they just don't have the switch combo. We have an energy in hand, so we can retreat the Mareep, no problem. And then once again, take this knockout on the active. Dynamotor's coming down. I kind of want to go dig for my other sheep here. I think getting as much energy in play as aggressively as possible is a pretty big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and Marnie here, because if I can get that Mareep or that Flaffy into play here, I think it would be best. Do end up whiffing it. So that's not great. Did want to hit it. Didn't hit it. That's fine. It's still in the deck. And then maybe we can pull this other Flaffy out of our prize cards here as well. Because, yeah, still need to accelerate quite a bit of energy into play over the next couple turns to make sure we can keep retreating and stuff. Especially because one thing that could happen is my opponent could... Oh, no, we missed the Flaffy out of the prize cards. One thing that could happen is my opponent can... Tool Scrapper my air balloons. I'm sure they play a Tool Scrapper. Most of these Zacian decks do play a Tool Scrapper. So if they Tool Scrapper both my air balloons, we're not going to have a pivot to work with. That's another reason I didn't want all my air balloons in that one hand at one time. Because... excuse me. Because then all of a sudden, like, you know, they can Scrapper them. I wanted one to have, like, one or two of them left around for later in case they do Scrapper them. But... still in an okay spot. Still not overly worried about it. They don't have the Scrapper yet. As long as they don't hit it, we'll be in a good spot. But if they hit it, that's where I start to get a little bit worried. Not too worried, just a little bit worried. Here comes the Brave Blade. Okay, without Scrapper this turn, I don't think it's possible. And now that we got this Flaffy as well, I don't think it's possible for us to run out of energy. I think we'll be okay. I'm going to go ahead and set up the Flaffy. We still have our Stadium in play to grab another Zapdos. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Grab another Zap. Attach to one. Triple Dynamotor to the other. And then hit for 160 once again. And then we are so close to getting the dub here. So close. I don't even think I'm going to play a supporter this turn. I have the energy in hand, which is basically all I need to make sure I can attack again next turn. Or I don't even know if they could stop me from attacking next turn at all, to be honest. I think we just have this one like basically locked up. Hit this hit here, and then yeah, I don't think they could stop me from... the one thing they could do is they can boss my Flaffy, and then I would just have to attach to my Flaffy and be able to have it ready to move on the next turn, I guess. Here comes a Marnie from my opponent, so there's no boss, which means I think we have this one locked up with a lack of boss from my opponent. I guess we could whiff energy to retreat my Zapdos, to be honest. And if I do that, there's that Tool Scrapper. If I whiff the energy to retreat my Zapdos this turn, I can put all this Flaffy energy here, but it doesn't matter because I can't actually retreat my active. And how many energy do I have left? 7. So I do have 5 energy left. So there's a good chance I can find one for sure. But they're going with the Brave Blade here. Oh, I'm still short on energy here. But wait, we have one Zapdos left. So I can set up this Zapdos, search out my 4th Zapdos, then triple Dynamotor to that Zapdos. So if they do take a knockout here, we actually have game on board. And even if we didn't have game on board right now, we are very likely to be able to pull it off. Anyways, oh, there's the Stadium replacement, but we have 2 Quick Ball and the Stormy Mountains in the hand. So we should be all set. Brave Blade, knockout. Send up the Zapdos, and then get another Zapdos. Our 4th Zapdos should be in the deck. I think it is. I'm actually not 100% sure, so I'm going to use the Stormy Mountains first and check. But I think it is. It is. Okay, cool. Get the Zapdos, triple Dynamotor, and then knock out that bench Zacian for our last 2 prize cards. So our opponent actually whiffed 2 or 3 times throughout this game to attack. So, but they definitely can get in situations where they don't whiff at all. So the Zacian deck can definitely get into situations where if they get the first prize card in this matchup, I think they can definitely chain attacks turn after turn after turn, and we can't keep up. Thankfully, our opponent whiffed on the turn 2 to make it that much easier for us. There's that last Flaffy we were looking for, and we get the dub here over the Zacian. We didn't even have to use Jirachi. All right, getting into it, going first. Let's see if we can't get another dub. Mareep start, Stormy Mountains. So the hand does not have a whole ton as far as draw support goes. We have plenty of top decks between this and next turn to hopefully pull something together here and give ourselves a shot. We're up against a single strike deck. We actually got an out to the Jirachi. I think I'm going to go for... They can't attack turn 1. I almost just want a hard retreat and then save the air balloon for the Jirachi. I'm gonna go ahead and use this first. Grab the quick ball. Yeah, grab the quick ball. Throw out the Stormy Mountains. Go ahead and grab myself a Zapdos to attach to. Oh, no, we've already attached. Can't attach again. And then maybe quick ball the site or the energy. If I quick ball, we should probably quick ball the energy, to be honest. Keep the site around just in case, and we want to get another Mareep in play for sure. And I'm not going to throw that in the air balloon because single strike decks, they play Tool Jammer usually more so than Tool Scrapper, but quite a few also play Tool Scrapper, or sometimes just Tool Scrapper, no Jammer. But I feel like Jammer is usually the main one they play, but doesn't matter either way. Like if they have Jammer in play, we can't use it. It does get out of the deck, which I guess could be a benefit, but the biggest thing is Tool Scrapper. If they have a Tool Scrapper in their hand and we throw it on the air balloon, they can just kind of discard it and be like, well, I don't know why you did that. So we don't want to let them have that option. So I'm gonna just hold on to the balloon. Just a research to start with. Didn't discard anything too bad actually. Usually I feel like when I see that many cards hit the discard pile, it's usually worse for my opponent than it ended up being this time. And no energy though. That's good for us to see. It did get down a Flaffy. We've got the air balloon. Gonna go ahead and use this. Grab ourselves another Mareep, I think. Yeah, grab the Mareep. Get out the deck. Then we can go Dreamy Revelation first. Dig a little bit deeper in the deck before we go with the Pokegear. Get the Quick Ball. Can even play the Quick Ball as well. Again, to thin out the deck. Increase our odds of the Pokegear hitting a draw supporter. And we're hoping it's not Zinnia. And it whiffs. Oh my gosh. I was like, we're doing all this digging. We play a lot of draw supporters. Hopefully it's not Zinnia. And then whiff. Well, that leaves us in quite an interesting spot. I guess we are just going to bench Zap, and I could retreat the Jirachi so it stays alive for... I think we're just going to pass. I think we're just going to pass here. All right. So we're a little bit living on the edge now. It was very unfortunate. I was like, all right, this should hit, right? We haven't used a single draw supporter yet, so there's a ton left in the deck. This should get us something here. Here comes the Dark Signal. They are going after my Flaffy here, though, which actually, in our situation, is actually better. And they Marnie us. Would you look at that? Sometimes stuff just works out. You just have to believe your opponent is sometimes going to help you out a little bit. And there we go. We got the research. We got some energy. Tool Scrapper, who cares? Cramorant, I'm going to discard it. Yeah, sometimes you just have to hope that your opponent hooks you up. And this time, they definitely did. Looks like we're probably getting knocked out here, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. We can live with that, especially now that we get to play the game, as opposed to not playing the game. That feels pretty good. Looks like it looks like my opponent didn't have a choice. That's probably their only draw supporter in hand. You never want to Marnie your opponent when they have one card hand and just didn't play a supporter on their turn. It's never your top priority is to Marnie your opponent. So definitely got bailed out there. Did they get the energy though? I guess is the question. Did they get the energy to be able to use? Okay, they did. Probably just thinking about which one to attach or maybe what they're going to get off this capture here. Probably need some more attackers though. And yeah, they go for that Umbreon. But yeah, we are very much in this one. And we have to just decide what we want to attack with here, to be honest. Or what we want to attack. I might just attack this Umbreon VMAX, to be honest. And leave this thing in the active. Because we can eventually hit the Escape Rope combo. Plus a Sight and knock this out off the bench in one hit. Which I want to kind of play towards. And now we got the Zinnia. So we could go with the Zinnia's Resolve instead and keep the research around. We're only drawing one less card. I'm going to go ahead and get this Mareep. So then I'm going to go with the Zinnias here. Get rid of the Scrapper and the energy. Just keep around the Cram for later. Zinnia's Resolve. Draw 6 cards here. And no, we did get enough. I was like, well, not quite enough, but we did get just enough. Going to get this Quick Ball. Leave the energy on top. Then we're going to play this. Grab ourselves that Flaffy. We did prize one of our Flaffies, so that's not good. Could definitely whiff an attack next turn. Now I'm kind of scared of that happening, to be honest. But I am going to go ahead and... Well, if we do hit the active, though, we could KO it with a Drill Peck next turn. Or if they VMAX it, then it's worth 3 prize cards. So I think I should actually go with the Thunder Snipe on the active here. So either it stays an Urshifu V and they might try and hit with it again. Actually, they probably don't. Well, they might have to like VMAX it and hit with it. And then it becomes a 3 prizer, which is great for us. So then you have to KO a 3 prizer. Or have the option to KO a 3 prizer. So I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. And just be like, okay, you can VMAX this if you want. But then we get to get more prizers. And if they don't VMAX it, if they don't VMAX this, then we just get to use Drill Peck for the knockout, which we're 100% fine with. So This works out either way, I feel like here. And they could get like the hard retreat. And there's the VMAX. So they do VMAXs to make sure they can attack this turn. And that's exactly what we want to see. And if they don't VMAX it, like I said, we can drill pack it. But now we win in 3 attacks. So we can actually whiff an attack this turn and still be ahead in the prize exchange. So we don't even have to attack this turn. I'm going to go ahead and attach here. I'm not going to put anything on the bench yet because I would like to get another Mareep on my bench. But let's see what we draw into here. No ordinary rod at all. So that is not good. Yeah, that's not, I mean, it's not good. But with the dreamy revelation here, just get a Marnie. Once again, no ordinary rod. We need to find one of our ordinary rods as soon as possible to recover some of these sheep. I don't want to bench anything once again. The ordinary rods are in there. There are some level balls in there as well. So it's all in there. Just need to find it. I could go with another dream revelation though, but when they start bossing sheep, I want to be able to get down triple sheep still. I think I'm just going to retreat to a Zapdos and pass. Yeah, because I don't want to lose my Jirachi either. And yeah, I'll just pass turn. So a little bit unfortunate to whiff the... We really just want to see the the Flaffy there at least and put an energy on each Zapdos. That way we have a little bit more just energy in play. Because energy in play is just good. We didn't get that, so we're going to be a little bit behind on that. I don't think we're in a terrible spot still, though. I think we're still in a fine spot. There's just a beatdown from my opponent. Okay, so that's good. They didn't do anything too big this turn. That's what we were looking for. Nothing too big. Just small stuff. Top deck energy doesn't feel good there, though, to be honest. I'm going to go ahead and quick ball here. Get rid of Stormy Mountains. Grab myself another Zapdos. Should definitely be able to attack this turn. Hopefully we can do a little bit more than just attack, though. Dream Revelation first, like I've been doing. Get the ordinary rod, or do I get that level ball to make sure I can attack? Tough call. I think I'm definitely gonna be able to recover stuff or get into a... We want to use the Poke Gear first. We want to get a research. Perfect. Okay, this is going just fine. 2 Pokemon. I don't think I want the energy, even though we are starting to run a little bit low on energy. I don't think we want energy quite yet. Maybe with the second ordinary rod we'll cover some energy. Still have 2 in there. We've already attached for turn, so throw this on one of those sheep and then play the research looking for a Flaffy. Should be no problem. We have a lot of outs of Flaffy in there. Yeah, no problem. Can even evolve 2 of them here, get an extra energy in play. Go ahead and get that other sheep. Okay, it was looking a little bit scary on the last turn, but I think we've stabilized here. I think we should be able to pull out this dub with just 3 more attacks. And we also have another Flaffy prize, which means we can pull that off the prize cards this turn when we knock out this Urshifu. I would definitely like to get that into play as soon as possible. Just accelerate more energy into play. Make sure we're going to be safe from any... reduce the potential of shenanigans that my opponent could pull off Zinnia's Resolve. There's the Flaffy. Perfect. Pulls off the prize cards and another Zapdos, so we have another attacker to work with. So I feel like we got this one just about wrapped up, to be honest. Just need a 2-hit KO, this Umbreon VMAX, and then, yeah, that's it. We can get the dub right there. So looking really good right now. There's a Crobat from my opponent. Doesn't really matter. We could even go the route of like Telescopic Sight, KO the Crobat now if they put that down, and then get Cramorant back with the other ordinary rod, and Cramorant KO a Houndoom. Really no need to go about that route. And I'm actually curious to see what they're even trying to look for here by putting Crobat in play, because they have the attack set up, so they don't really need to use Crobat. Maybe even something like a Marnie. I guess Marnie and Tool Scrapper would be pretty annoying, to be honest. So if they hit something like that, I guess if they Marnie us, though, we're definitely guaranteed to draw into our other Flaffy. So, I mean, they don't see it. There's the Tool Scrapper, though. That's one piece that is just a tad annoying. I don't think it matters too much, so I don't think I'm too worried about that. I think we'll definitely be fine, even though they get that here. There's a Tool Scrapper. Here comes a Quick Ball. I guess a Marnie would, not gonna lie, a Marnie would make things a little bit more awkward. I don't know if it's gonna make it awkward enough. But yeah, no Marnie. So we get to keep the hand. We get to set up a ton of energy into play here. And I think we're gonna be in a really good spot still. So our top deck is Level Ball. Okay, so Flaffy. Go ahead and try and find that ordinary rod. Did find it. I guess I don't need to use it really, though. I was thinking about, okay, maybe I want to use it, but I don't think I want to actually use it. What is left in the deck, actually? There is an air balloon. Okay, so we can go like bench Zapdos here. I might even put the sight on this one. Attach. Do we have to attach? Well, we have the air balloon, so we can attach there. Play the Marnie. Okay. Looking good. Air balloon will go to the active here. Got the Ordinary Rod back, but once again, I don't think I really need to recover anything. So let's just use some Dynamotors, load up some Zapdos. We have the, just in case we do need another switch card, we do have the Escape Rope left. We still have the Escape Rope left, so we can use that. If I throw this down, yeah, we'll have 6 cards left, so even if they Marnie us, we still don't deck out. So we should be all good here to win in 2 turns. I guess they could heal this Umbreon still, so that would be scary, but they would need to find Cheryl. I guess if they play Cheryl. If they play Cheryl, then they can heal the Umbreon, and then that would be pretty devastating, to be honest. So let's see if they play Cheryl. I don't think they would, but they definitely could. But they'd also have to attack again this turn. They'd have to Cheryl and then also attack. So they'd have to Cheryl and then also get, like, you know, an urn or even 2 urns. Accelerate 3 energy onto the bench. Umbreon VMAX. Actually discard an urn there. Yeah, so they get to get a bunch of energy onto the bench, Umbreon VMAX, and then attack with that. So that's like a whole ton for them to pull off. I think we're going to be walking away with the dub here, though. I think we got this one basically locked up. I don't see how my opponent is going to be able to get out of this, but we'll see. We'll see. They might have some trick up their sleeve yet. I don't know what it would be, but they might still have something for us here. But I think we've got this one basically locked up. Should be in a pretty good spot. Just need to attack next turn with Zapdos. KO the Umbreon. Our last 3 prize cards, just KO 2 VMAXs. And that can be our game plan in most games in this format. KO 2 VMAXs, and then that's game. Here comes a Marnie from my opponent. Okay, so we do lose our hand, but once again, shouldn't make a difference. Like I said, we have access to the Escape Rope, Ordinary Rod if we do need to recover Pokemon cards for some reason, or cards in general, so we don't deck out. And got the energy, so we can even just hard retreat the active at this point. So that's it. They went ahead and even passed. Like, maybe you don't have a way to retreat, but we do have a way to retreat. So that is it. Another dub here over the single strike this time. And yeah, walking away with the Zapdos. Yeah, I think there's definitely more work to be done on this list for sure. I said that at the beginning of the video. Like, this is where I'm at right now, but I feel like a double would be a really good addition. And then maybe some other different attackers. Like, the Zapdoses are great, but I feel like there's definitely room to play other stuff in here for sure. But guys, that's going to do it for this game with the Zapdos deck. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, give the video a like. Let me know what your guys' favorite non-V or VMAX deck is. Non-V or VMAX centered deck. We still have a Cramorant V in this deck. In the comment section down below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe if you're enjoying the content and hit the bell. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.